Hi, this is Emily with Styled Mi Casa. I have an interior design business in the Houston suburbs, and this channel is all about home decor, DIY, and decorating tips. So today I want to talk to you about the 3 most important things that you should do before designing any new space. Maybe you're moving into a new construction home and you're struggling with where to start. How do I decorate my living room or my bedroom? Maybe you have an older home you're looking to remodel and you just need some tips. So stay put for this video, and I hope I'm going to be able to share with you 3 things that are really going to get you started on designing a space that you love. So the very first thing is to determine what is going to be your color palette. And the color palette is so important. I think it's even more important than deciding your theme for the room or what style you like. Let's say you're trying to figure out your style and you decide that you're traditional or you're rustic luxury or you're farmhouse or you want coastal. That's fine, but without a color palette, when you go to those stores and you start to pick out items, you may end up coming home with things that don't match and that don't look good together in the same room. So the first thing is put together what your color palette is. I want you to include your metals. So are you using matte black? Are you using antique bronze? Do you have brushed nickel? Put that in your color palette, as well as your wall color, your accent color, your sofa color. Put them all together in one place so that you can see what your general theme is on the colors that you've chosen. And this will really help guide that room to make sure that everything is cohesive when you're all done. Here's an example of the color palette in my home, which, as you can see, is very neutral. You could also go to websites like Sherwin-Williams or Benjamin Moore. You can start searching for either color of the year. In this case, I searched for neutral colors, but you can also look at colors in people's spaces. So in this section, you have the opportunity to see the way that other users have painted their spaces and really try to use that for inspiration. Another place I love to draw inspiration, this is Restoration Hardware's website, and you can scroll through their catalog. You can see that this year is all about moody colors, tans, browns, bronze, and really warm colors this year, which I'm very into for my home. The second thing I think is so important when you're starting your design on a new space is to measure. And I know it sounds really, really simple. Like, of course I'm gonna measure my room. Of course I know my room is 15 feet by 14 feet, but what I'm talking about is to actually put your room dimensions. Think about, where are my doors, where are my windows, and then also measure the furniture that you're going to buy and test it in the space. So whether you do this by writing it all on a piece of paper and then drawing out the furniture on the paper, or you download an app on your phone and you put the floor plan and the furniture into that app, or even you just go to the room and you use blue tape and map out where that bed is going to go on the back wall of your master bedroom. But it's so very important, and especially because right now furniture is on a large back order for most furniture companies and most people. So you may wait months or even a year for a new piece of furniture only to find that it doesn't fit the space. A lot of furniture is also non-returnable. So really important that you do this step and you measure the space and you measure the furniture to make sure that the layout is going to work for you. Here is a free app called Room Planner Home Design 3D that I like to use to test out the furniture within a specific room. So here I can actually change the size of the furniture. I'm going to make this bed wider to match the bed that I'm shopping for online. And then I'm just going to try it out on different walls. Maybe I want to test it on the back wall. Maybe I want to see what it looks like here. Add a nightstand. I can check all of the measurements of all of the different pieces of furniture right here in this app. Now for the third and final thing that we're going to talk about in today's video, when you start designing your new space. So we talked about picking out a color palette, number 1. We talked about number 2, measuring your space and measuring all of the furniture. And then number 3, which I think is one of the biggest changes that I made that started to help me to design rooms better. And I think it's something that probably, an interior designer that's trained to be an interior designer, they're always going to do this. But sometimes people don't realize that even if you're not an interior designer, you have the tools available to you to do this in your own space. And that is to create a mood board. So very similar to the concept of creating a color palette, but this time the mood board is going to have pictures of all of the items that you want to purchase and put into your space. So this is about being very intentional instead of just being in a store and saying, I love that sofa, and you buy the sofa and you bring it home. But this is about kind of pre-selecting the items that you want to put into your room. So you've chosen your color scheme, you've measured everything, and now you're going to purchase those items. Put them all in one place. So whether it's a board that you maybe prepare on an app such as Canva, I use Canva myself. I actually have the pro version just because I can remove the backgrounds. But even if you don't use the pro version, just for free, you can upload pictures and you can put all of those pictures on the same board or paper or background so that you can view them all together and see how they look together. I think this is so important because not only does this let you visualize the different styles of the pieces that you may have picked out and decide, do I like this mix of traditional and modern? Or do I like the scale? Like this table is very petite, my couch is huge. So it'll help you see those things, but then it'll also help you to see the tone. Sometimes I can go and say, oh, I love this light toned dresser. But then when I put it on my mood board and I see the tone of maybe the wood floors in the room, I realize that those two tones just don't look right together, that there's a weird undertone that's kind of clashing. So the mood board can really help you to just see if those pieces are going to look good together in the same space. And another way to do this mood board is on Pinterest. So you can just create a new Pinterest board. You can have it public or you can have it secret. And on that Pinterest board, just name it after whatever room you're doing and keep it just for that room. So if it's your living room, then you name it living room. And when you add all of the pieces that you want and you open the board, you're gonna see everything all of there side by side and be able to make better decisions on what matches and what doesn't. So I hope that wasn't way too simple for you. I hope that gives you a little bit of inspiration, some ideas on where to start. How do I get going on an empty space or a space I'm trying to remodel? And I hope it helps you create a space that you absolutely love. So leave your comments below, questions, send me messages. I love to engage with you. And then if you haven't already, please subscribe and look forward to seeing you next week.